Hey there, welcome to another episode. We'll go with episode of Hiker Homily. And I wanted to just kind of do a brief one to touch on something because I know I've used the mantra several times in various videos that I may have given an impression that I hate cotton. There's a war on cotton in this channel. And that hikers have some kind of war on cotton going on. As speaking only for me in this channel, there is no war on cotton. But I know I've used that little rhyme, "cotton is rotten," quite a bit. And I have to say that no insult to the cotton industry. Unfortunately, in certain circumstances, especially things like, multi-day or long-distance backpacking or hiking and things like that, cotton is not a good material for various reasons. So I wanted to kind of explain that. I've done it briefly before, but kind of get into that and stuff like that. But as you can see, look, cotton shirt under the right circumstances. If you recognize that guy, that's Oddball from Kelly's Heroes. It's a great movie. If you haven't checked it out, it's a good comedy. But under the right circumstances, like hanging out at my house or things like that, cotton is fantastic. It's very comfortable and does great. It's fantastic. But under other types of circumstances, it has its drawbacks that can actually lead to problems. And like I said, I've mentioned them briefly before. But the main issue with things, especially if you are on any kind of a long distance backpacking trip and you are in the back country, cotton is a kind of material that once it gets wet, it stays wet for a long time. It is very difficult to dry, and then it'll do things like sap your body heat and stuff. If it gets wet and it's cold outside, that just sticks to your body and pulls the heat out of you and can actually become dangerous. Things like that. Not to mention the fact that if you have enough cotton on you, like say you're wearing denim or something like that and it gets wet, it can get heavy compared to other things like nylon, polyester, athletic shirts and stuff that are made for wicking moisture away from your body, and then it evaporates quickly. A lot of hikers like to go to those because of the fact that they dry fast. When they do get wet, they don't get heavy, they don't pull heat away from you or any of that kind of thing, and just generally they're just more comfortable. They're also usually a lighter material. It's just more comfortable for long distance hiking and other situations like that. And a lot of the reason why, most athletes, runners, bicyclists, everyone, they kind of use that kind of thing. Because again, cotton can be a good fabric when it comes to just hanging out and stuff like that. But when it comes to being way in the back country and you need to try and stay warm and dry for certain situations, cotton doesn't help you in that. If it happens to get wet, that's just not a good thing. It becomes very difficult to dry, where other materials, especially those more ones made for that kind of stuff, don't have those kinds of issues. So I wanted to kind of just touch on that. There is no war on cotton as far as I'm concerned. But it's just one of those things that, you have to have the right kind of clothing for the right kind of events, and just cotton doesn't work for long distance, way in the back country type of backpacking. That's just all there is to it. I wouldn't wear a tuxedo to a swim party, and it isn't because I hate tuxedos. It's just not the right kind of clothes for that kind of thing. And so certain types of cotton clothing just aren't the right kind of clothes for certain types of activities. And as far as I'm concerned, that includes long distance backpacking and things like that. Now, especially when I first got into it, I tried to do everything with just like, I'm going to do it all just right, and super athletic clothing, even if I'm only going to walk, 3 miles and stuff like that. But I've kind of calmed down since then. So if I know I'm only going to do like maybe a 5-miler, and it's not going to, and it's a mild day, it's not too hot outside, so I shouldn't be perspiring too much, and it's not cold outside, it's just kind of nice, even, mild day, and I'm only going to do this many miles, shouldn't be too bad, no elevation changes. I'll probably wear a cotton shirt because it's not going to be bad. I don't have to fully deck out, or I'll wear my my cotton or denim shorts and stuff. Probably my underclothes will still be more of that wicking material. My socks and my shoes will be, just because that's more comfortable and they help against friction and all kinds of other stuff like that, where sometimes cotton, once it gets rubbed, or it can start rubbing, little different than the other shirts and things like that. So I've kind of gone a little less fanatical, and yeah, I'll wear cotton sometimes when I do basic hikes. If I'm just going to be like basic training hike, 5 miles around the Cosumnes River Preserve, and that's flat ground, you're not doing any kind of elevation changes, and it's kind of nice and cool, yeah, cotton t-shirt probably work just fine. What I'm wearing, or some other cotton t-shirt I have, just fun, it'll be comfortable, it'll be fine. But if I'm going on a day hike or a backpack trip or something that's going to be 10, 15 miles, it's going to be all day long, I know it's going to be either hot or it's going to be cold, then I will probably pick different clothing. I won't go with cotton. That's when we start using the mantra, cotton is rotten. But like I said, I didn't want to pick on it. I didn't want anybody in the cotton industry to be pissed off. Cotton is rotten in context. It's rotten for certain types of things. I'm sorry, it just is. But for other things, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine, all right. So that's really the main topic for Hiker Homily. I'm filming this on the very last day of July 2019. Don't know when I'll get it on. There may be a delay when I get it actually on the channel. It may be a week or two before this gets edited. Then I'll put it in the slot. Like I say, I'm trying to get things out once a week, and so if I already have something already slated to go out next week, it'll go out, and then this will go out later. But when I'm filming it, it's the very end of July, and I still have some basic hikes planned and stuff like that, but unfortunately my schedule has been interrupted. I probably won't be able to get to do some of the stuff I really wanted to do. My daughter is going back to college in Georgia, but she's actually moving in. She's been going to the Georgia State perimeter colleges and actually living with family in Georgia. For her last 2 years, she's actually moving on to the actual campus, and so I am going to be going out there in a week or two, jumping on a plane, heading out there with her to help her do her actual move-in to the actual like little studio apartment or whatever she's moving into on campus, the main campus, to get her moved in there, and then I'll be back, and that's going to be like mid-August or so a couple of weeks. And I have my other activity that I do besides hiking is I'm a vendor at various comic shows and stuff like that, and we have the big one in this area, Stockton Con, coming up this weekend, so I'll be busy with that at the beginning of August. So yeah, just stuff like that has kind of moved me out of some of the hikes I want to do. I'm hoping late August, the way things have been with the snow having been as deep as it was, a lot of the trails are just now getting clear anyway. Some of them already still had snow on them for a while and stuff, and the water sources should all be just running just fine since we had quite a bit of snow. So I'm hoping that late August, early September should still be prime backpacking season. I'm probably still going to get up there in the Sierras and get a few trips in. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm hopefully going to do that. I'm definitely going to get some day hikes in once things get settled down, because school is starting to get back in session here. My son will be back in school. Cross-country season, I'll be involved in that. So just a lot of things kind of being juggled, and I'm going to try and get some hiking in between as one of the things I'm juggling. So that's what's going on there for this Hiker Homily. I appreciate it, as always. Anybody who watches and keeps track of me and stuff like that, I do appreciate it. Thank you for watching very much. If you have any comments, if you actually prefer cotton to hike in you've never had any issues with it, or you agree with, yeah, you're right, for hiking anyway, cotton can be rotten and things like that, let me know as usual at hikingforhealthca@gmail.com, or in the comments, or on Instagram. And that's what's going on for now for this hiker homily. Thanks a lot as always, and I'll catch you next time.